Hi there, I thought it was about time I got around to doing a review of some of the kit that I've been using this winter. So first up is the Spatz Capsule. So this came out on the Spatz website just before Christmas, and as I do a lot of riding in the winter, I thought I'd give it a go and I'd invest in one. So they're £35 on the website, and I've got to say overall I've been pretty pleased with it. It's pretty straightforward, it's easy to use, it's a traditional really sort of aluminium flask, double walled, that fits into your bottle cage, and then it's got this plastic cap which screws on top, which it did take me a little while to work out how to get into it once it came. So it's got a flip up cap with a little button at the front that you have to slide to the side like that, and then you push this ring and hey presto, the cap flips open and you can drink. It's got a spring loaded button there, and as you can see the little flap is spring loaded as well. Not sure how long that will last. Even if the spring goes on the flap, you know, it's still going to be usable. What you do have to make sure that you do though is that you push it right down so it clicks and then lock it into place with that button. Otherwise, from experience, if you throw it in a bag, it can start to leak. It's easy to use. Spatz do say that you are not to fill it just with boiling water straight out the kettle, so I tend to put a bit of juice in the bottom, throw a splash of water on top, and then top it up with the kettle, screw the cap on, and you're pretty much good to go. It's easy to clean. I have noticed that, you know, if it's quite dirty, my daily commute is down country lanes and it gets a bit gritty, some of these little mechanisms, they don't click quite as well. So I'm wondering whether grit eventually will cause some issues with the way that it works, but so far it's been great. It's not ridiculously heavy. I mean, it's what you'd expect from an aluminium flask. A few little issues that I've had with it. Number one is the fact that the side of the flask is dead straight. It's the lip of the cage here, which normally grips the end of the bottle, actually pushes the, I don't know if you can see there's a gap there, it pushes the bottle up in the cage. So all I did was I took an old cage that I'd got, took a hacksaw to it and then just cut that lip off the top, and then I put it on the down tube so that it was upright, and that's where I keep it, and so far that's been absolutely fine. It still grips pretty tightly. I've been over some rough roads, this thing hasn't moved or gone anywhere. The other thing that I am wary of, there are a lot of moving parts on this cap. This is not something you want to drop if you're scooching along some sort of country lane or on rough roads. I don't think this is going to bounce very well, so I tend to just use it when I've stopped. The only other thing that I have noticed, it will keep your drink really hot. I've ridden below freezing for sort of 2.5 hour rides, and it's kept the drink hot. It works best, and it sounds daft this, if you leave the whole drink in. The more drink you take out of the bottle, then the quicker it seems to cool. So on one ride, I had a drink about every 40 minutes or so, and by the time I took my last drink, about 2 hours in, and there was only about this much left, it was only lukewarm. It had been piping hot previously, so it seems to lose that sort of heat retention over time the more fluid you drink out of it. But other than that, it's a really good thing. I've found that on my commutes in the morning, halfway along, I've got the same place where I stop and take a bit of a drink, and it is really nice to have a hot drink, particularly when it's so cold as it has been of late. So I'd give it a massive thumbs up. I think it's worth the money, and I'd definitely give it an 8 out of 10. So my only question is longevity. You know, will this cap survive? Will it all keep working? I guess only time will tell. But for an 8 out of 10, definitely worth an investment for a hot drink on the road while you're riding in winter.